What's happening, friends? Welcome to Unlocked. It's episode 372 for, my goodness, the end of November, November 27th, 2018 already. Coming up on this week's show, Red Dead Online is sort of soft launching, and maybe depending when you hear this, it is just out ready to go. Tina Amini and I got to spend some time with it earlier today. We'll tell you about our adventures out in the frontier with other human players. Plus, Skybound has taken the mantle of The Walking Dead from Telltale, and they're working on finishing that. We'll talk a little bit about it. Plus, E3 2020. Last week, they talked about 2019. 2020, I think, critical year. We're going to talk more about what that could mean for Microsoft. With that, I'm Ryan McCaffrey. To my right, Destin Legary.
Bam! It's Red Dead Online Day.
Coming out of the gate strong.
Let's
go.
go.
I like that. Tina Amini, the aforementioned, hello.
Hello, thank you for having
You
me.
seem like you're elevated way up
yeah.
now.
I'm pretty tall.
Like, I just
They
feel
make
like
me
I'm
do
much
this.
lower. I feel like I'm like talking up to everyone, but it's fine. It's like an amphitheater.
There you go.
Miranda Sanchez, hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Doing real good.
How was everybody's Thanksgiving? Did you guys play any games, or did you guys just like avoid computers and digital things altogether?
Oh boy, did I play games.
Yeah.
I brought my Switch, which was a genius move on my part. Thank
Yeah, you were
very
off in
much.
New York, yes?
Yeah, I did not intend to be in New York because the smoke was so bad here. Canceled my family's plans in California. Went off to New York and was playing The Missing all weekend,
Nice.
all week long. Yeah, it's Swery's new game. Very strange, puzzle based. You can plan two planes, whether you're like alive or dead, and brings you up to like different abilities. It's weird. It's weird. It's cool. I like it. Have you guys played
It's weird, says IGN.com.
it? I think that's an apt description.
Yeah, why not?
I
All
played a
works out.
lot of Fortnite, and I played Magic: The Gathering Arena,
Look at you.
which was sort of surprising. And I forgot how much I like card games. And the turkey my girlfriend and I made turned out phenomenal.
Nice.
It was
Always feels
really,
good,
really
doesn't it?
good. Oh man, we watched this YouTube video where this guy had all these tips and seasoning, and it's probably the best turkey I ever had. Very, very happy.
So you gotta do a thumbs up on that video, right?
Yeah, right.
Like, subscribe, and
I want to
share.
write to the guy and be like, "Thank you so much."
Thank you for
this
making my Thanksgiving.
video." Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, Miranda, how about you? I know you were traveling too. I think,
Yeah,
right?
I went out to Oklahoma, so no consoles for me except for my Switch. That was nice. My family likes to be really busy when we get together, so we just do things, which is fun, but also it's just like, I want to play video games. So at night, when everyone went to bed, since I'm still like a West Coast person and on that time zone, like I always stayed up later than everybody else. So I played a ton of Artifact, which is a lot of fun. Another card game as well. It's very addicting. Stay up till 3 a.m. most nights playing that, and that's just bad, but you know, it's fun. And I played a lot of Pokemon.
Nice. Yeah, I made a little bit of progress on Red Dead. I still have such a lot. It's like it's almost overwhelming how big that game is.
Yeah, I feel bad that I haven't played more of that too.
Yeah.
At this point, you guys just gotta like barrel through the story
know.
because I
Yeah.
just
No, I
want to
just
talk
gotta mainline
about
it.
it so much, you know.
Well,
That one part.
Yeah,
I'll tell you, I was
You know.
I was listening to the Howard Stern show as I usually do, and one of the guys on there just dropped the biggest
Oh, no.
spoiler just casually on the air, and I was like, I mean, in my line of work, okay, I guess it's gonna happen, and I was like, I didn't need to know that.
Yeah.
Like,
Howard
you could've-
Stern.
Yeah, well,
all
one of their like back office guys was in there talking about something, and it's just like, oh yeah, and then this happened. Like, oh come on, man.
and then
So-
everyone
Oh,
died.
man.
So, well, it's fine. I'm still
That
gonna enjoy
plague
the
mission.
ride.
Yeah. I
Okay.
redacted.
So Red Dead Online, Tina.
Yeah.
We literally just came from
Literally
doing that
just 2 hours
for 2
of playing
hours.
that.
We started from the jump, right
Yep.
from the get go, and there's a whole story. There's a whole thing
Yeah.
going on here.
It almost feels like Red Dead 2 relaunched in a way.
Little
I mean,
bit.
I'm sure the storyline won't be as expansive. You play as a character that is voiceless, so you won't have that like Arthur Morgan kind of, you know, support to the character.
Well,
Yeah, which I really feel like it's remiss, you know, without Arthur because he's such a great character. But we started right up into the character creator and like picked out what kind of teeth we were going to have.
you went with no teeth.
I went with no teeth because the options were like you could have like 2 teeth on top and 2 teeth on the bottom, and you know, obviously everybody's teeth is just a row of like gross,
Very yellow.
grimy, brown, yellow. Yeah, this like disgustingness. So I was like, you know what? No teeth is better than those teeth. So
Soft foods only.
yeah, exactly. I was really wondering if it would impact her voice, but you know, again, voiceless character. So we just had a whistle. You can choose your whistle.
I like
Oh.
the intro story that you guys were experiencing on the stream today. Because it reminded me of like heist missions in Grand Theft Auto Online, and sort of I'm like, oh, there's like a reason to be doing these things, and it's kind of driving you along with this story that these characters are pushing you on. And I was really glad to see that. And then I turned it off because I want to play on Xbox, and Xbox isn't live yet, so I'm just gonna.
It will
wait
be
it
by
out.
the time anybody hears.
Yes,
this.
that is correct. That is correct. But like on launch day, I wasn't ready yet. So.
Yeah, I was really glad to have a central narrative sort of driving everything, because if it was just activities in the open world, I don't know how often I'd want to go back to that. Like, we jumped into the like large showdown,
Yeah,
which is basically
deathmatch.
just a huge death match in the woods, which it is kind of cool. You kind of like you kind of see guys flittering between the trees, but it's just like, okay, one round was enough for me on that.
Yeah, I feel like as we probably get better weapons, we might enjoy it more.
True.
Because it was really cursory. Like, everything was very introductory for us initially. And I did like having that narrative structure too, but we also like kind of cut loose towards the end. Because in the beginning, it's very much like you're just being set up for your camp. You're being introduced to all these new mechanics. You're figuring out how to partner up in a game mid-live stream. So that's always fun. But by the end of it, we just started kind of like going loose, going on stranger missions, which felt really familiar to the main game too.
Instead of car insurance, you have horse insurance.
You have horse
do.
insurance.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I like that.
You need that in an online
Very
game where
good.
people are just lassoing you off your horse.
Or shooting your horse.
yeah, which actually only we did to other people. People
Right.
did.
Oh, I
Oh, so
completely
wow.
did.
Okay, we were
I
terrible.
100% shot a dude's horse.
Yeah, sorry,
on
Kevin.
purpose.
So what are some of the new mechanics you guys were taught during this like introductory part?
Well, I mean, not a new mechanic, but we decided, hey, let's lasso a guy and just drag him through town
Yeah.
like a human player.
Oh,
That must have not been super
he
fun
was
for
not
him.
happy about that.
Was his mic on?
No, I turned mine off, so I don't know if there was like a proximity chat either. But fortunately for him, the law enforcement was on his side because Ryan and I had just been through a rampage. We were trying to figure out how to rob a. So we did stranger missions. There were random encounters, and we did some of the main storyline stuff. And what we ended up doing was just kind of like trying to find a train out in Valentine.
Yes.
And trying to see if we could rob it. And the indicator wasn't working, so
know,
I
something-
decided,
yeah.
like, let's just shoot some people. Why not? We came here to do a crime.
Oh.
We're going to do a crime.
Tina, this put together, well thought out person, just finally snapped at the end of a 2-hour
Of a
live
2-hour
stream. It was
live
like,
stream, yeah.
just kill them all.
Yeah, I
like,
blame
all right,
you.
I guess my boss said to
I
kill
blame
them all.
Black Hat Ryan over here. He's
yeah.
a bad influence.
But it was fun to lasso people and drag
Yeah.
them through the mud.
Oh.
And
Yeah, it
Well,
was mean.
Those were
So it's
other.
you.
So you just griefed people the whole stream.
not the whole time.
Not the whole
Make it
stream.
out of-
Towards
Oh,
the
just
end.
half of it.
I think they could because he got out of it and he got up and he shot
Yes.
me. And
Okay.
he killed me. So
That's
I was like,
fair.
good, you know what? I deserve that.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the universe has been balanced again. So yeah, you can break out of it. You can hog tie another player and put them on the back of your horse, but they
We
can
didn't
break
get
out
to
of
do
that,
that.
too. We didn't do that. I killed a guy, which actually was the same one that we were griefing later. Poor Kevin. And I was just like, hey Ryan, you
Kevin.
want this body? And I just dumped it on the back.
Yeah,
of his horse.
just like, I don't need your corpse cargo. Like, get it off my horse.
Especially because I had already looted it. So it's like, what's the point?
Yeah, if you're watching on video, this is from super early in the in our live stream when we were just heading to go meet someone.
Yeah, the intro is very slow and steady.
Sounds like Red Dead.
Yeah, exactly. I think a lot of people were commenting like, "Oh, this looks really slow and boring to watch," which is fair. I think that like, a lot of people felt that way about like the main campaign too. There's a lot of just riding
for
your horse.
everybody.
Yeah, there's a lot of just riding your horse places. I tried to use cinematic view to make it a little bit more of a glossy look.
So dramatic.
But we really were just scratching the surface. I mean,
yeah.
it would be super fun to get, let alone 2 people. We get like the 4 of us and
Yeah.
go like on a 4-person, like maybe we go hunt a legendary
Yeah,
bear
that'd be
together,
great.
or there's all, of course, the heists that will inevitably come up. So there's a lot.
How big can your posse be?
That's a good
Is
question.
it 7?
Oh, how many slots
wow.
were in there?
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a good
I
question.
think it was
forget. I
more
think
than
it
4.
was. Yeah, I think it was.
Oh yeah,
7.
I think you're right.
I was
think it
talking
is
about it
7.
with Jeremy, and I think it's
Yeah.
7. That's
Yeah.
cool. I like that.
Which, if you go back to the original like silhouetted character art from when they first unveiled
yeah.
it was 7
It's
There you
you.
go.
people.
Yeah,
The secret was you all along.
it was
I
in
wa-
us all along.
I wonder if there's going to be some story that kind of like elaborates upon that facet. aspect.
What, the fact that you have 7 people
Yeah,
in your
yeah.
crew? I don't know. Maybe it's just like
Maybe
the
there'll be
perfect posse size.
A legend of your crew or something
Sure.
like that. Maybe there'll be some.
Well,
sort of
Ryan and I were
outcome.
trying to figure out like what the storyline, like where the storyline is set, because right from the get go, no spoilers or anything, but right from the get go, they're talking about Blackwater, and that's one of your main, like your first main missions. We didn't actually do many of the main missions because it was pretty far out from where my camp was. Your camp and your clothing spawns kind of like at random. So Ryan ended up near Valentine. I ended up near Tumbleweed.
Yeah,
we were
so
a little
not
bit
everyone
different.
will have the exact same experience in the
Yeah.
early going. It seems to have there are multiple campsites
Yeah,
and sort of
exactly.
starting paths.
Yeah. But yeah, our main missions were in Blackwater, and here's my cowboy goth look. I'm
She's
so glad
so
we
rugged.
pulled this.
I love
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I'm glad you like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything was kind of centered around Blackwater in these intro conversations that you're having. So I really have to wonder what that means for the storyline, where it's set, because
Right.
Blackwater is so significant in
So-
the main campaign.
From what you two have played, would you say that people should hold off playing this until they finish the campaign? Or is it totally fine?
I don't think it's I'm going to guess it's not necessary, because obviously we didn't get too far in the storyline, but I'm going to guess it's not necessary because it feels irrespective of the events that went down in Blackwater in the main campaign. There aren't a lot of like connections being drawn, at least this early on.
It's
So
separate.
I would
It's a
assume not.
separate.
Sure.
Yeah,
thing.
but I think it's within it's obviously within the universe. So like
Yeah.
Blackwater being as significant as it was.
Well, the thought I had, because you can see, you're in your prison garb, and
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
you're freed from a prison caravan. There was a point in the single player game, I happened upon a prisoner
Mm-hmm.
who was chained and was like, "Hey man, help me, come,
yeah.
set me loose." And it made me think like, "Oh, I wonder, is that the
You're
same
just one of
thing?"
those
Like,
prisoners. Well, there's
Yeah.
a bunch of prisoners that like
right?
the random
and,
encounter
and they're just
prisoner.
set
Yeah.
free. So I was like, "Oh, I wonder if that's just like a clever tie-in."
I murdered all of them.
Okay.
Yeah. So in my
felt they
campaign,
deserved it?
things
Wow.
played out a little differently.
Yeah. We met a cat sitting
Yeah,
adorably on a
we
porch.
did. We couldn't pet it,
Yeah.
of course.
They have a
It
few
meowed at
Valentine.
us though. Yeah. I think this was close to Valentine, this cat.
It was
can't
over in
remember.
some like
Yeah,
swampy.
there's
Yeah.
an Emerald
Steve's
Ranch.
Landing.
Yeah.
There's one that has a mouse. It's very cute.
Oh, very cute. Yeah. You can't pet it though. I mean,
So yeah, we'll see.
a-
Red Dead Online. I mean, there's clearly like 2 hours that we did nothing. Effectively,
effectively nothing. Yeah, we really just scratched the surface and got familiar with the fact that like there are icons that look different on the map. The pink icons are other players. You can lasso them. You can play in deathmatch.
Yes.
And then it's very consistent to what the rest of the game feels like, the nature of the rest of the game. You're out in the wide expanse. There are random encounters and stranger missions, big storylines, that kind of thing.
We've been teased with a battle royale mode. I'm very interested in
Ah.
that. Bows and arrows and throwing knives. Rockstar just put it out. So I'm really, really curious to see what that mode's going to be like. And are you going to gear up, or is it only bows and arrows and
So
knives?
that's what I'm hoping for. It's like if you just give us this very simple, like cut down version of Battle Royale, it kind of relies more on skill and like luck. It's like, how good are you at hiding, and how good are you at like stealthily killing somebody,
Or like
I think
jumping
that's-
up on someone.
Yeah, and I think that's like a fun, unique way to play it. Whereas all these other ones, it's like, did you get the concussion grenade?
Yeah.
Did you get
Right.
the flashbang?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Concussion's no longer in Blackout, but
Yeah, you guys ever
Yeah.
play like
Or-
Michael Myers mode and all the
think.
Call of Duty? I forget which ones it was popular in. And I believe it was an actual mode where you just go all knives.
yeah. So
It's like
yeah.
that. Yeah. It's where you feel a little bit more tension when you're like down in a corridor. And it's kind of more hilarious too.
Yeah, I think it makes sense for Red Dead 2. You don't want crazy weapons. That'd be weird.
I just want to try it out. It's really interesting for a game like Red Dead to put a battle royale mode in, and I'm kind of excited to see what they do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I'm
it's
curious to see
Rockstar.
how they make it a Rockstar kind of battle royale mode.
Exactly.
Yeah.
true.
Exactly.
Yes.
Your family is visiting for the holidays, and you know everyone is going to try to get their hands on your Xbox One. Picture it, every single family member is smashing, mashing, and drooling on your controllers. It's just not okay. The only drool that should touch your controllers is your own. There must be a way to avoid it, right? Wrong. No, actually, that's right. There is a solution. Get them all their own controllers. Get your brother the PlayerUnknown's Battleground controller to battle his way to the final circle. Pick up the Armed Forces 2 controller to appease your dad's camo affections. Get your niece a Great Blue controller to match her brand new Too Cool to Hug You personality. That's how you'll make everyone feel special. And that's how you let everyone win. But most importantly, that's how you let yourself win. Here's what you do. Whether you're adding to your own collection or trying to protect it, find the perfect gifts for the gamers in your life at MicrosoftStore.com. And don't forget to check out all the latest and greatest controller designs.
All right, let's move on. So I wanted to talk last week. The topic I was trapped at the DMV. I couldn't be here, but you guys talked about about E3 2019, Sony not attending, and what that sort of meant for Microsoft. And as I was checking that out, I was like, it sort of got me thinking. It's like, well, what about E3 2020? And the more I thought about it, I wanted to bring this up, see what you guys think, because I think I'm going to put my thesis statement out there, and then we can discuss it and see if you guys totally agree or totally disagree with me.
Hit us.
I think E3 2020 is the singular pivotal moment for Microsoft for the entire next generation. I think everything they've been doing, all this rebuilding the plane in midair stuff that they've been effectively doing for a while now, I think it all has to pay off right then and there, because that's when the new console is likely to launch that year. They're going to talk about their launch lineup at that E3. The console will probably have already been unveiled itself at an event prior, if last generation's anything to go by. And that's probably when a lot of these new studio acquisitions are going to be ready to not necessarily release something, but start just showing what they're doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for the most, just because it'll have been 2 years since we got the acquisition announcements. And then by then we'd be maybe a year or two off of actual releases. So then that would be the perfect time to say, hey, guns blazing, this is what we've got going on.
Yeah.
I also do hope they have the reveal event for the actual console itself before E3. I think that worked really well to get all the technical stuff out of the way,
Right.
save the games for later. I mean, of course, you want to tease a reel of like what is going to be launching with it, and then give more details at E3.
So what's your question?
Well,
You're right.
that is it.
Am I
Yeah.
right? Yes.
Yeah. No, is, am I making too much out of E3 2020? I mean, I just feel like that. It just feels like everything when I step back and look at all of it from the last few years, it just feels like that's what it's all building toward, is that moment. Like E3 2019, you guys discussed it last week. It's like, does Microsoft kind of just coast through that because there is no Sony to even worry about? Do they put the pedal down harder to take advantage of Sony not being there? And there's a case to be made either way, but I just feel like E3 2020 is the moment.
2020
that sets the tone for it is their chance to do the opposite of what happened in 2013 and really come out strong.
It'd be really appropriate if they themed like E3 2020 as like hindsight's 2020, y'all. Like, sorry about 2013. Woo, big mistake. I mean, since then, I think they actually took the step back and they kind of reassessed everything and realized, okay, we need to like kind of prove to people through some level of consistency, like where our priorities are, and prove to people that they're in line with, where they should be, where people feel that they should be. And they've done a really good job since, and by like kind of refocusing and restructuring their messaging and their priorities since 2013. A lot has changed.
And at the same time, the competition, Sony, is kind of going through this rebuilding of where they're at. Like they lost the main Shuhei, right? I don't want to say the name wrong. Who was the Sony guy who left, and now they have a new lead?
No, Shuhei's still there.
Yeah.
No, not
He's
Shuhei.
the head of
I'm trying to
studios.
think who you're thinking.
Yeah.
Well, there was just one of the biz guys.
Okay, one of the biz guys left. So Sony's going through a bit of a restructuring. They're not attending 2019. They've kind of revealed everything that we can expect for the foreseeable future. And in 2020, both of these companies are going to come with their A game, and it's going to be a slugfest again, the same way that it was when the Xbox One launched and the PlayStation 4 launched.
Yeah, I'm glad we're showing on the video version here. We're showing Halo Infinite B-roll from the announced trailer, because it's the more, again, when I step back and look at this, you guys can tell me if you think I'm nuts here, but I feel like, again, that 2020, they can really lay out a hell of a plan. I maintain, as I've said before, I think Halo Infinite will be the signature launch title for Scarlet. I'm not saying, I know 343 said it will be out on Xbox One as well, and I don't doubt that, but I think it will be primed and pushed for Scarlet as a next generation title. And remember, the last time a Microsoft console launched with a Halo was the original Xbox. It only happened once. Halo 2 came out, was later on original Xbox. Halo 3 didn't come out till 2007. And Halo 4, of course, end of the 360 life cycle, and Halo 5, 3 years in on the Xbox One. So they've only ever launched with a Halo once. I think they have to, that is, they're pushing for that here, and I think that's what we're going to see.
That'd be super appropriate too, just because of all the parallels they're drawing with Infinite and Combat Evolved. Just like
Yes.
how they're trying to play on that so hard of like just like this rebirth of Halo and everything, and I think that would be very appropriate.
Yeah,
Their conference in 2018 was great.
it was.
It was one of the better conferences that I've been to, and I was just like, wow, this is good. And if they come out with anything even comparable to that in 2020, it's going to be great to see what Sony comes back with. Hopefully, it's their traditional conference because they've usually done a really good job. And I just want to see them both have great conferences.
Of course.
Because then everybody wins. We all win when both companies are firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, it's good to keep them competitive.
Yep, and both companies are just coming with the innovation.
So let me keep going because I think here's the thing. Traditionally, Microsoft, or at least for the last number of years, they've had their three big pillars: Halo, Gears, Forza, and not much else. And those games have typically shipped in Q4, leaving the rest of the year pretty dry as far as first-party games go. But here, with these dozen studios now, I think you can look at Halo Infinite as the big launch title for Scarlet, fall 2020. You might probably have a Forza Horizon 5 in there too, which would be pretty great. But I think Fable could be the big fall game in 2021 because that team at Playground has been staffing up over the past year.
We're gonna see Fable in 19 though, right? 2019, like a teaser.
I don't know, man.
Little splash trailer.
Yeah, exactly.
It could happen, but again,
like the Gears chainsaws crossing for Gears 2 style tease.
I think again, there's a case to be made either way. I could see them holding it and just really coming out strong with it in 2020, but I could also see them doing just a little, hey, we know that that this is in development, so here's just a little.
Yeah, why not make it like a
cinematic.
happy event?
Yeah. So I could totally see that in 2019 as well. But I think Fable could be the big 2021 game. Then we'd be due for Gears 6, the end of the current trilogy, in fall 2022 if Gears stays on the 3-year dev cycle that it's been on. And then there's the Initiative, the quadruple A game that new studio is making down in Santa Monica. That could be all the way out in 2023. And then there's the thing. So if you've got those pillar fall titles for the year, the nice part is with all the studios now, you can still fill out the rest of the year with great stuff as well, with In Exile and with Compulsion and with Ninja Theory. So I really feel like the roadmap suddenly looks a lot fuller for Microsoft, and they're really positioning Scarlet to have a tremendous first party, not only a tremendous first party lineup, but a consistent one, which is what they have lacked this generation.
Yeah, that's key. That's what they need to prove, is that it's not just like a bunch of kind of like little like technical flares and nothing really of substance. Like a lot of 2013 was focused on like, the internet functionalities and the TV functionalities, and it wasn't even like across, globally things that were available. So it was just a bit of a mess.
Yeah.
And I think people were really confused why their focus was so squarely on that rather than on the games, and them setting themselves up in this way for the past few years since then has been really smart. And I think people have like kind of regained a new kind of, confidence in Microsoft.
Or at least definitely interest.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot to be shown and proven from what their efforts are. So
There's more to be interested in.
yeah, absolutely.
I would love to see like a 360 launch window style thing going up against what like the PS3 had at their launch. There were a lot of interesting things happening then. That's when we got Mass Effect, and even Sony was trying some things. Not all of them worked out, but they were trying new things, and that's really important right now in the market, I think.
Yeah, I mean, by E3 2020, we should effectively know what every single one of these new first party studios are working on. Obsidian and In Exile and Compulsion and Ninja Theory, they should all be well enough into their projects at that point to be able to show something and just have an absolutely unbelievable E3 2020, which is when Microsoft has to come out swinging. They need the opposite of 2013 to happen. Because look, that's really how it went for Sony. Sony's 2013, they just did everything right that year, regardless. Just even taking Microsoft out of it entirely, everything went right for Sony. Their unveiling was strong. Their E3 was strong. Microsoft needs that as they've been building towards this, and I think I just really feel like they're well positioned to have that. They're not scrambling. Like, it's all really aligning well for them right now.
2013 won't happen again because there's a new person at the helm, and he knows how to communicate with press. He knows how to control a message, and he knows what people want. They want amazing games, and they're backing the initiative hardcore. So I'm really, really excited about 2019, 2020, 2020, and they're just firing on all cylinders. I see what they're doing. They're building towards this awesome console next generation while supporting the current generation and continuing to innovate.
Good stuff. All right. There are a few news items this week despite the holiday lull here in the U.S. So as I mentioned at the top, Skybound, the production company that controls The Walking Dead, they have resumed work on Telltale's Walking Dead to try and finish those last 2 episodes, which is just really great to see. I'm so glad this is happening.
Yeah, it was really up in the air there for a while. We weren't sure what was going to happen with the remainder of the season or with the staff. Obviously, it's still not an ideal situation for all of the employees who were let go from the studio. But it's really good to see that at least like they'll be involved in, finishing out those storylines.
The big part for me. It's like, oh, it's great that it's getting finished, but more importantly, that the original staff can go back and work and
some of them, not all of them, unfortunately. Yeah. So the message from Skybound: thank you for your patience while we worked with Telltale to take control of Telltale's The Walking Dead. It's been a ton of work logistically and legally to get us to a place where we're able to roll up our sleeves and get to the actual work. After Telltale shut its doors, the game was unfortunately unable to be worked on, and hence the release dates of episodes 3 and 4 have been delayed. But we're excited to let you know that many of the talented, passionate team members who originally worked on the game are resuming development efforts today, and this was like a week ago. So that is happening.
I think it's really key. Yeah.
Good PR for Skybound, for The Walking Dead, and the fans are going to get the game that they wanted.
Yeah, it doesn't change the fact that the Telltale was 250 employees didn't get severance.
Crazy.
They didn't get treated fairly, but at least some of them can at least be able to sort of get creative closure, if not, their actual corporate what they should have gotten, their actual due. But
yeah, everyone I've talked to at Telltale has been really like focused on Clementine and how personally connected they feel to Clementine. And it's like, it doesn't feel like one of those fluffy things that people mention. It feels really genuine. Like this is a character that they've been developing since season 1, and she's got a lot of history.
6 years now.
Yeah, and she's really like they've almost kind of grown up with her in a weird way. I mean, as they've evolved her personality and made her take on like aspects of Lee, and it feels really personal. Like the stories and the development feel really personal. So I think it's appropriate that a lot of people who worked on those stories are still working on them.
Excellent. So hopefully we can look out for those final 2 episodes sometime I would hope maybe in the first half of 2019. Meanwhile, I wish Jonathan Dornbush were here. But good news for Kingdom Hearts fans. Kingdom Hearts 3 is done.
They did it.
Director Tetsuya Nomura says, guess what? We've wrapped up development of Kingdom Hearts 3. If you haven't had a chance yet, now would be a good time to prep by playing the other ones, the 1.5
plus
stuff.
2.5 and 2.8.
Of course, those aren't available on Xbox.
It breaks my heart so
Which is
much.
ridiculous.
Yes. Ugh.
I just want to know why. Like, if it's a business deal with Sony, just say so. Just tell me. Just say, we have a business arrangement with Sony. That's where these
I heard rumors about a lack of interest or something. I was like, there's no way. Like, how could that be a thing? Like, if you're releasing the 3rd game, why wouldn't you want the rest on your platform?
Exactly.
Also, please I just want to play it on my Xbox, please.
Well, you can at least play Kingdom Hearts 3 on your Xbox One, your Xbox One X. So it's the end of January. So we've got 2 months to go.
So weird.
And then
It
that
just
game will be out.
doesn't feel real.
That it's 2019 already? Yeah, 2019.
Yeah. Or when I got to play it at E3, it's just like, are you sure? Is this real? Are you not like faking me out here? So I don't know. It's just crazy to finally have some resolution to this and like get the next part.
What was it? 2017 we got The Last Guardian. Is that when that game? Wasn't it like December of 2017 when that game finally shipped?
I think so.
If I remember correctly. So every so often we get a game that comes out after so many years in development.
We've had so many games between the core series. Just like, please.
What game is going to inherit the super long in development mantle from Kingdom Hearts 3 now that it's actually coming out.
Crackdown.
Well, that's
that
actually
was
coming
gonna
out.
say.
Yeah, that's
It's like, oh, maybe.
coming out right after Kingdom Hearts, actually.
I don't know.
I'm
I
not
don't-
sure. Has anything seen a lot of delays? Like, what are some front runners?
I don't know. I can't think of anything in the Xbox
Fable.
side. Well, no, hopefully
We already
not.
said 2020.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who knows? It could get announced and then delayed.
Yeah, that's
I don't
fair.
know. I don't want to curse anything with that. But saying it's a curse, I of course want these games to have like the highest fidelity possible and have developers have the time they need to make the game that they want to. But at the same time, it's like scary when it's something like this that you've been waiting for forever. I remember when I bought a PS2 just to play Kingdom Hearts. That was it. It's mostly only what I play on there.
So, Miranda, if you're an Xbox owner who doesn't have a PlayStation, is curious about Kingdom Hearts, what's the best way to prep for Kingdom Hearts 3? Be it without being able to play it. Like, is there just like did somebody do a nice write-up of the story, or do you just go
we
watch
have
it
it
on
in 5
YouTube, or
minutes.
what?
I think we do.
We do?
I think we do. So
Dornbush
definitely.
is gonna make
We
it.
should make that.
So you definitely want to make sure you're
Look
watching
out,
in 5 minutes and
IGN.com.
recaps. The story is very, very complex. It's just almost absurdly complex, but it's a lot of fun to really dig into and like figure out who is who and why they're mad at each other, or like the drama that is like set in this. And you can't just go into Kingdom Hearts 3 and expect to know everything going in without having played the other two games, like the two core games, in addition to all the other games that are actually really important as well. So I highly recommend doing your research beforehand if you do plan on just jumping into Kingdom Hearts 3. Maybe you can watch some Let's Plays. The first game's a little bit shorter, second game, not as much. But there are definitely a lot of great breakdowns out there that already exist that you can
I wonder
dig into.
if this is the last project in any medium that's was a deal made in the pre-Disney.
Oh.
The what am I trying to say?
Before they were.
Because what?
Bought
Never
by
mind.
Disney?
I think I've just lost my train of thought. It's fine.
Before Marvel.
It's been a long
and
day.
Yeah,
Star Wars?
that's what I'm.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of. Like before Disney bought
The
everything,
big acquisitions.
Star Wars and Marvel and everything. Like, or so I wonder if that means Kingdom Hearts 4 in 13 years from now will have like Tatooine and
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
and New York City with
it's ever more complicated.
Captain
It's
America.
really weird to see Star Wars things with Disney products. So I went and saw Wreck-It Ralph 2.
Yeah, I
I think
saw it
there's a
as well.
scene with the Stormtroopers, and it just felt
Out
a
of
little
place.
wrong.
It was
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, it's like don't. I don't know. It just doesn't feel right.
One's cute, the other's cool. Come on.
Yeah,
I thought all the
No.
princess stuff worked really well. Though.
Princess
like
stuff
it
was the
didn't. It
best.
didn't seem strange.
Yeah.
Like it totally worked. I thought.
A lot of thoughts on that movie, but
Yeah. Anyway.
not the place.
Welcome to Keeping It Real on IGN. Okay. Finally, this week, speaking of the initiative, we mentioned them a few minutes ago. They made themselves a big new hire, which should be of particular interest to the diehard Xbox fans because we spend so much time, justifiably so, crowing on about how much we love Sunset Overdrive. It's a brilliant game, and it remains a brilliant game, and it's out on PC now. Yay! Which naturally led a lot of Xbox fans to go, well, how about an Xbox One X patch?
Yeah.
I stand with you. Where is that Xbox One X patch? But at least you can play it all dialed up on a PC. But I bring that up because the initiative, that new quadruple A studio down in Santa Monica that Microsoft has founded, has hired Drew Murray, the director of Sunset Overdrive. Drew has joined the initiative. Before you start thinking, yay, Sunset Overdrive 2, no. Initiative is making a new IP of some kind. They did pretty well say that. But this is great to see.
It definitely is. Like I keep saying, the initiative is really, really exciting. I can't wait to see what comes out of that studio. And this is just another person added to an impressive lineup of, well-credentialed people.
Yeah, they've been collecting a lot of talent over there. It's like their response to Sony Santa Monica. Essentially.
Yeah, God of War lead producer Brian Westergaard, Red Dead Redemption writer Christian Cantamessa, and Tomb Raider, the 2013 Tomb Raider director Dan Neuberger. So yeah, some people with some solid resumes joining the team down there at the initiative, along with Daryl Gallagher, who was at one point the head of Crystal Dynamics. He's got a nice resume as well. So really curious to see what the initiative is going to get up to. I think it's going to be a long, long time before that game's out. I mean, they founded the studio last year, or wait, this year? This has been a long year. I think it might have
I
even been
think
this year.
I think it's this year.
Wasn't
Yeah.
it earlier this
Yeah,
year?
yeah.
So, and they're still staffing up.
They'll
So
tease it 2020.
probably.
You got to bring it in 2020.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to our loot box question for this week. That is what it is this week. It's a random question from our friend Joey Malone, listening. He's a longtime fan of IGN. Says, if you could move the entire gaming industry anywhere in the world, where would you move it to, or would you just try to keep as much of it in San Francisco as possible? I always think this is a fun question. I mean, we don't have the whole industry here by any stretch,
Yeah,
but
by any long
we
stretch.
do have some significant players here in Electronic Arts is in the Bay Area. Bandai Namco's U.S. office is here in the Bay Area. Ubisoft is a block away. There's 2K is just north of us across the Golden Gate Bridge. So there are some significant industry titans that call the Bay Area home. What do you guys think? Would you
Seattle.
just pick up everything
Why?
and move it?
There's
there's
a
already
bunch
a
of
lot
people in
there.
Seattle already.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is an interesting question because if you were to move the industry, wouldn't that equally affect the area the way that this area has been affected? It would.
Oh,
create
you're
more
getting deep
jobs.
into it
It would
now.
create more jobs, which means the economy would be more robust, which means the cost of living would also be raised. So the problems with San Francisco, lack of housing, lack of financial stability,
So-
I don't know,
Yeah.
prices just keep going up, would be affected if you were to move the entire industry
would-
to one spot.
Argue that it wouldn't be as severe as like say moving Google or Facebook or like
Yeah.
the tech behemoths that actually I think are a bigger part of that inflation.
Yeah.
I don't think games is the problem,
Mm-hmm.
at least for what we have here. But if you were to move more than what's already here,
Yeah.
it could be an issue. I think my struggle with this is the responsibility of picking where everyone's going to live next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because
for
it's
sure.
like, wow, which place is nice? Where are things to do? Which
see-
place would I want to see like kind of bubble up a little bit and develop differently?
I like that you guys are going
hard.
like with a full socioeconomic analysis on
Yeah.
this. I kind of took this as just a fun
Like, where do you
well,
want to
where
live?
would you want to live?
Yeah. Well, it is part of that, right? Because as you're saying, like you're basically going to have to displace all those families of developers who now have to find new places to live. And like selfishly, I kind of like Los Angeles. I feel like there's already a lot of studios there, so
Yeah.
it already has that established hub. It's not nearly as expensive as San Francisco. It's not cheap either. But there are more.
Living
It's
everywhere.
yeah, I don't mind that though because the thing is like it's such a more expansive city that I think you have more options in terms of like residences to live in that aren't exorbitantly expensive. That's still like fairly easy access to main city areas because Los Angeles doesn't really have like a main city area.
See, I would go just a bit further south. I would choose San Diego.
Oh, that's a
you
good
get all
call.
the good weather. Pretty. Yeah.
I've been to San Diego once and it rained the whole time, so I can't speak to
Hey,
that.
that's not so bad.
It's just weird.
You get most
I
of the
wouldn't
good
expect
weather
perfect
of
weather, yeah.
Southern California.
Sure.
A lot of great culture, great food, cool
Such
downtown.
a small downtown.
Yeah, the
small
Gaslight
downtown.
Gaslight
Yeah.
District, but without the LA sprawl and
Yeah,
and,
I like the sprawl.
Well,
It
you
means
know,
a
to
lot
each
more
their own.
diversity.
True.
And a lot more space for people to kind of pack in. So more space for the
But a
industry
lot
to live.
more traffic.
Yeah, it's true.
So much traffic.
I mean, hey, if that's the city's worst problem, I'll take it. If traffic is the worst problem.
If you think about it,
It's not.
Who wants to tell her
If it
about
was.
the pollution?
Yeah.
yeah, the West Coast actually is where most of the industry is. You got Seattle, you got San Francisco, and you got LA.
True.
And I think all of us seem to like the West Coast a lot because we
Yeah.
keep saying places on the
Yeah.
West Coast. Let's go crazy. Let's say Florida.
Oh,
oh gosh, it's so
Yeah.
humid though. Why would you
Yeah.
do that?
I don't like
And it,
Florida,
like,
but it's
doesn't know
real
if it wants
cheap.
to rain or
It's
not.
real cheap in Florida. There's actually a place called Destin, Florida.
Wow.
So,
I've been there. It's
Let's
beautiful.
go there. Let's go to Destin.
Yeah, it's
Florida.
beautiful. They have white
me.
sands and like crystal clear blue water. It's pretty gorgeous. Also, nothing to do there. It's basically a resort town.
Yep.
is it
totally
It's calling to you.
Yes. Yeah.
Destin, come home.
Florida would be interesting. Why not overseas? Nobody thought overseas.
Well, there's plenty of hubs overseas as well. I mean, I think that's really like the interesting thing about this question is that there
Thailand.
isn't one place. It's all over the world, and there's like little areas where it's
Pockets of.
yeah
Yeah.
pockets of
Bigger growth for
population
sure.
essentially. Yeah, exactly. So it is everywhere.
I think I would choose if I'm gonna move away from the West Coast, like getting away from there. I'd choose probably Austin, which I know is very
I was gonna
hot,
say that.
Yeah.
but it's already developing as a game place.
Yeah.
like which is really impressive because I like grew up in Texas and I went to Austin a whole bunch in high school, and so seeing that change is really impressive and exciting. And exciting that's not just known for UT because I
Yeah.
have UT. Boomer
Austin's
Sooner.
cool. I've been there a few times. That's
Yeah.
that is you could do a lot worse than Austin,
For sure.
Texas.
I was gonna say Austin as well, and even just like lifestyle
vibe.
wise, it's cool that there's a cool downtown hub. San Antonio is really close by, so you can like go to cute towns and wander around. And you also have like outdoor activities, indoor activities, so it doesn't feel like it's just one homogenous place.
Yeah, and selfishly, I could visit my family. That would be nice.
Yeah, my brothers live in Austin. That would be easy.
Keep
Thanks,
Austin
guys.
weird.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't say New York.
Yeah.
Well, so New York kind of used to be more of a games hub than it is now. And pretty much
Acclaim.
it's just like
Yeah,
rock stars
Rockstar.
there, and that's about it. It's too small and too expensive. I think it's got the San Francisco problem. Can't fit too many companies there.
There's some cheap places in Illinois that aren't Chicago. NetherRealm's there.
That's true. We've been there.
Yeah, we've been there. Really cool office and low cost of living, but it's also in Illinois.
Damn.
Sorry, Illinois. I grew up in Wisconsin. Yeah.
There's just this segment's going to generate more hate mail just for fans of specific cities that Destin's trashing.
Florida's really humid. I like Austin also.
That's a
same
fact, though. That's
same
not a-
problem. Really humid. I really like San Francisco. It's just the cost of living so high. That's the only
It's
thing.
miserable.
Well, there's nice. I
Yeah.
went to Oklahoma for Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
and so the day after I graduated, I left immediately. Like all my stuff was packed.
Wow.
I moved immediately out here, started working here, and it was great. And then I only went back last year for Thanksgiving. And I was just like, oh gosh, I'm so glad I left. It's not the people or anything. It's just the climate's not
Yeah.
good. It's so cold. It was like 25 degrees with wind chill while I was there. It's not good.
I could probably swing LA or Seattle,
that's
but
not
anywhere
negotiating.
that
Yeah.
way,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like just varying degrees of temperature on the West Coast.
There's
You have-
Yeah, maybe
Tornadoes.
just like a spring
Yeah.
retreat, you know? Like
Yeah.
it wouldn't have to be our actual headquarters. We just visit.
Nobody
Yeah.
picked Hawaii. Nobody wants to move
Oh,
the industry
right.
to Hawaii.
That's a good one.
Ooh, okay, never mind. Let's all go to
It's so far.
Ryan wins.
See you in Maui. No, yeah. I'm sticking with San Diego. I know not 989, but just Sony San Diego, the MLB,
yeah.
the show team is down there. The Behemoth is down there.
I think I'd be cool with San Diego. I liked the one time I went.
EA has something in Florida. The
Well,
sports
something,
group,
yeah.
right?
The Madden team.
The Madden team.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
EA Tiburon is down
It's
there.
sports. That's why I didn't know.
Fair.
All right, Joey, thank you so much for that question. Feel free to ask us anything you want for the loot box. You can email unlocked@ign.com if you'd like to bring something up. You can use that same email address to send in an Unlocked Block trivia question. The year is just about over. In fact, Brendan's not here. He's currently in the lead, so he'll have to see this after we get off air. But I wanted to bring out the trophy. So the trophy is done, and it was done by Adam Gumbert, who did. I can't wait for you guys to see this. I mean, I've seen pictures.
Yeah.
I haven't even taken this out of the box yet.
Oh,
Cool. Adam, I'm really
So
excited.
if you're not familiar, every year we have a kind and intrepid Unlocked fan makes a trophy out of an old Xbox controller of some kind.
All right.
Destin, you won the first 2 years.
I did, and
Wow.
I've not been doing
The
well.
Dookie is on your desk.
Yeah.
And the 360
Yeah.
is on your desk. So, let me see. I really hope I don't need a blade
Box
for
cutters.
this. I maybe didn't think ahead. Let's see. Hold on.
That
I can
editor
do
can
that.
fast forward.
This will be
Yeah.
great on audio, by the way. You just,
sorry, everyone.
you just
Enjoy, listeners.
Thank you, Adam. Already,
Hold on,
I haven't
it's
even seen it.
coming.
It's always so nice when someone does this every year.
can do it
It's
all.
incredible.
Ryan is opening the box if you're listening.
Indeed. Gonna vamp a little bit. I think
He's
Brandon's.
using his
gonna stay.
surprising strength
Yeah.
to open the bubble wrap.
Ooh.
Oh,
Whoa.
Here it is.
that's really
Check
neat.
that out.
Oh, I love it.
A Connect. I think it's supposed to. Yeah,
Oh.
there we go.
Oh.
I think that's what's.
Wow, a lot of
cool.
attention to detail. Good job.
Those are
Adam.
those are
Dang.
corkscrews as a
This is
as a leg. That's
Adam.
awesome.
Adam Gumbert
For
did
the
a
quirks?
heck of a job. Yeah, hold on. I don't know if.
Does it
Yeah,
open
there's.
or anything?
Oh, these just came off. I'll have to re-glue these.
Oh, the bottom feet.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
feet, the other feet. But let's see if I can.
Cool that they're corks.
Got it.
There we go. I don't know if we can.
Sorry again, audio listeners.
This is like the worst audio episode ever.
You have to watch it. At least come check out this part.
That's
See
cool.
the trophy.
Ryan, I think it opens. Does it open?
It looks like it does.
Yeah.
It looks like a bit of a lockbox.
Again, this is the first time I'm seeing it as well, other than in photographs. So
really
this is the trophy that Brandon Tyrell is currently in the lead for. However, the Ghost of Alana at 10 and Miranda 7, Destin 3. So we're just about. He's just about clinched it, I'd say.
Yeah, I think
I might have to
he's got
present
it.
this to him later.
Yeah.
But we're close.
I hope I get one more point this year. That would be great.
I'm just so bad at trivia. I'm looking at this question that we have this week, and it's like, dang it, I remember this,
Well,
but I don't remember the other.
Let's, I guess maybe even if you're just playing for pride now,
Yeah.
here we go with this week's question that comes to us from Spartan Bane Gaming. His gamer tag is Gear of War. The O in of is a 0 if you'd like to add him on to your friends list. In 2005, Microsoft wanted to expand its reach and benefits for Xbox Live members. And they announced a new program where you got a physical card with your gamer tag on it that had real-world discounts at participating retailers. I remember this vividly. I still have my card somewhere.
Me too.
It has my gamer tag on it and a little number, like a member number. What was that program called? This one I know. Let's see if you guys know. Was it Xbox Live Diamond, Xbox Live Platinum, Xbox Live Black, or Xbox Live Plus?
I had one of them, so.
Okay, so
you do
Destin
know the
thinks he knows.
answer.
Tina, any thoughts here?
So I don't know the answer. I would guess between diamond and platinum because it feels like a fancy. It feels like a
Okay.
fancy thing, and I feel like that's evocative of fancy thing. And I'll just go diamond over that because I like diamonds.
Fair enough. Miranda?
I think I'm going to go platinum.
Okay. Destin?
I'm going to go platinum also. Good deduction. I think it's platinum.
You said you
I have one of these.
You
I'm
have one?
surprised I don't remember which one it was,
Whoa.
but I'm like, it was a gem.
So, yeah, I don't think
Well,
diamond
if it's a
matches
gem, it would be a
Xbox.
diamond.
Well, I'm
Too
sorry.
much?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's platinum.
And then plus, no way, because like
Yeah,
PS
no.
Plus, they wouldn't have
Yeah.
probably named it something so similar.
You remember this was long before PS Plus,
yes,
though.
but I don't
Just-
think they would have used the same
Okay.
or similar naming
Right.
device for that.
Well, Tina is correct. It is Xbox Live
Nice.
Diamond.
Darn it.
Always go with the
Xbox Live
diamonds, man.
Diamond card. Yeah.
Should have brought my
Total
card.
crash shooting the
Tina
dark
on the
here.
board for and only in a couple
gonna
of
get
appearances.
this one.
Yeah, hey, it's a heck of a trophy. So again, thank you, Adam Gumbert, and thank you to Spartan Bane Gaming for sending in this week's question.
I didn't actually know the answer. I knew between two.
Clearly.
So excited
Yeah.
because it's like platinum. I'm like, did I get it?
Yeah.
I didn't get
You bammed yourself.
Yeah.
If you would like to participate in that trivia again, unlocked@ign.com. Please send in your trivia question along with 4 multiple choice answers and note the correct one in your email. We'll play again next week because let's see, we have, just real quick here, we have I believe we have 3 more shows this year.
Wow.
Wow, the
3
year's
more
coming
shows.
close.
So weird.
And that'll be the end of it for 2018. So there you go. We'll play again next week. And that brings us to the end of another episode of Unlocked, the world's #1 Xbox show right here on IGN. I'm Ryan McCaffrey. You can find me on Twitter at DMC_Ryan. Let's see. I guess I'll mention next week we're starting a new IGN First that is kind of a smorgasbord of cool things. So I hope you'll check that out. There'll be a different thing almost every day. So keep an eye on the site for that. Miranda?
You can follow me at Havoc Rosens, Havoc with a K, kind of anywhere. What did I do? I don't know. I dyed my hair. And that's all I kind of got right now. I think the biggest thing for me going forward is working on the Red Dead Online wiki. So if you guys have any questions or anything you guys want to know more about, of course, tweet us at IGN Wikis, and we can try to hunt down the answer for you.
So don't shoot you if we see you in Red Dead
Please
because
don't.
you're probably
She's hard at
trying to
work.
do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably trying to do something weird.
Tina?
Don't shoot me.
I am Tina at Meanie at Twitter and other variations of my name on other social media platforms. Working on bringing in Lucy O'Brien next week.
That's
Cool.
right.
Our executive features editor. Super excited about it.
So happy.
And this week is my birthday.
Well, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Excellent.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited.
Taking the day off on Friday?
No, I'll be working. I want to come in for the actual happy birthdays. That's
Fair
really how
enough.
I do it.
Yeah, fair enough. Destin, take us home.
Yeah, basically just follow me on Twitter at Destin Legary and keep an eye for me on Red Dead Online.
Excellent.
That's it.
But we will shoot you.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine.
Good luck.
Oh, man.
Oh,
I'm going to get a little
Challenge.
party going.
Yeah.
All right.
It'll be good.
There's a weird Netflix promo running in the prompter, which is very strange to me. I'm not sure why that is, but that brings us to the end of the show. Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you all next week.